Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Summit Overwatch Cup. This is the first event for Overwatch from Beyond the Summit. I'm Ask Joshy, casting alongside Jamerson, Jet Set Jamerson. Are you still Jet Set Jamerson on Twitter? Do you just join a team? Did you change it up?
I'm always Jet Set Jamerson across the board, but you can just call me Jamerson. We can cut the Jet Set if you want. As we do see, looks like we are already in the bans for Team Liquid versus NG Red, and already we have Hanamura, Temple of Anubis. You know, it doesn't look like we're going to see any of these salt maps so far today. Volskaya is banned out on the side of NG Red right now with only 5 maps left in the pool. It looks like we might be able to go to a King of the Hill today.
Yeah, it's possible, unless Nepal and Lijiang are the next two stricken. So otherwise, it's going to be payload all the rest of the way. King's Row, not surprising. Again, if you were here for our first match, we basically just explained that King's Row is the most comfortable map for basically every team. There's no one who really has too strong of an advantage going into that map, while some of the others are just a little bit different layout and can benefit teams that are more aggressive, for example, or more defensive. So King's Row seems to be kind of across the board determined as the most balanced. Lijiang Tower is going to get banned out now. Not going to be seeing that. Nepal is still out there as a possible King of the Hill location. Team Liquid now on the choice. We do have our 3 maps for this best of 3 series. It's going to be King's Row, Numbani, and Nepal. Now it's just a matter of what order are we going to be playing them in.
All right, we did have Lijiang in our first game. In our first match of the day, but it looks like, Nepal is going to be that 3rd map. So King's Row or Numbani, and of course it's going to be King's Row.
Yep, King's Row once again, get us started. This is kind of just an equalizer. If you kind of gauge your progress on this first map, you can determine maybe how well you'll do on other payload maps that are similar. Hollywood and Numbani are both hybrid capture into payload as well. So those are often picked as well for series. I'm surprised that we actually haven't seen Hollywood. We will be seeing Numbani at least as game 2 of this match here between Team Liquid and Northern Gaming Red. Please let us know in the chat who you think is going to take this series. It's going to be a much closer one in my mind than Envious versus basically anybody. So nothing against One Shot. Again, Envious is just, looking so dominant right now against the entire field that it would be pretty difficult to pick anyone else over them. But Liquid and NG Red, very, very evenly matched, very similarly ranked on the Ghost of Gamers ranking, which is pretty much the closest thing we have to a competitive ranking in existence. It is, still fallible. It's not 100%. The word of God as it is who is a better Overwatch team. So definitely an opportunity here for both NG Red and Liquid to try and turn some heads. Liquid has been going through some roster changes recently. You've got id, Dehang, Minstrel, Dummy, Mezer, and AZK as the squad right now for this Beyond the Summit Cup. And over on NG Red, we've got Naptime, Wolf, Bread Expert, Bird, Chance, and Mangachu. Wolf and Bird teaming up to be some incredibly potent offensive players, and Mangachu very often playing that Pharah, which has come into the meta so strongly since the McCree and Widow nerfs, and One Hero Limit is just a great choice all around for aerial control.
Yeah, and immediately we do see that Mangachu is on that Pharah. It's going to be nap time to pocket him there. Wolf will be playing this Widowmaker. As we saw in the last few games, Dot was doing fantastic for One Shot, opening up so many opportunities for them. We'll see if Wolf can do the same for NG Red here. Now on the side of the defense, though, it's going to be id on that Pharah, Dehang, of course, on the Mercy. Minstrel will be playing the Winston. We got Dummy on Roadhog. I love that Roadhog has come into the meta. Triple tank setup coming out also for Team Liquid. Mezer are going to be on that Reinhardt. AZK is going to finish off that roster with that Soldier 76.
Yeah, only one support on defense again for King's Row A. This is something I find very surprising, as Lucio and Mercy tag team so well together. They're not opting to use a Symmetra. Symmetra was kind of a staple here for a long time in closed beta, with only 4 minutes, though, now in this competitive mode rather than 5. In the quick play rule set, she's actually fallen out of favor a little bit, and I think it's, again, just the damage output that they're looking for when they go that one support. And right now, we've got Naptime and Mangachu kind of combining here as the Pharah Mercy combo for NG Red. The rest of the team is looping around to the right side. Bird is an extraordinarily good hit scan player. Soldier is kind of his forte, so definitely keep an eye out for Bird in that kill feed. Mezer just sitting on the point right now, making sure no one kind of gets past him. And it looks like with all this flanking going on, NG Red still hasn't actually made made an attack yet. Id up in the skies now, taking some rocket shots into the upstairs apartment here. Minstrel getting in there to deal a little bit of damage as well. The team is split so far apart, I can't imagine how they're going to try and attack this point now.
Yeah, we do see AZK finding that first pick onto that Mercy, so now it's a 5v6, and that's the Mercy, that's the heals down. Bread Expert is there, but the Lucio heals not on par with that Mercy heal. We do have the high ground control on the side of the attacking side. That's very odd for me to say, as we do see the defense actually falling back towards the statue, but they are caught out right now. Id and Minstrel, though, catching out these stragglers, people trying to funnel in, and right now the attack is just getting picked apart.
Yeah, nothing has actually even happened in the first minute and a half as far as I'm concerned. Finally, Id goes down, Chance jumps onto the point. There is a res coming out on the side of the defense to bring at least 1 or 2 members back up. Dummy gassing up there as Roadhog to get back to full health. Id falls. That Pharah is going to be a big loss for them. There's a Soldier ult coming out, Minstrel using his Primal Rage. Mangachu with that barrage gets a couple of kills, but does fall during it. And Chance falling on the point right now is going to actually put a stop to this push, as Bread Expert is the last person alive for NG Red. He's going to fall. Wolf needs to return to wherever he came from quickly, and he does teleport to safety as Reaper. So he did hop off of that Widowmaker, switched onto Reaper for some more sustained damage, was not getting the picks that he needed during that circle maneuver that they were trying out at first. Chance on the point now, ticking back up. Minstrel leaps in. Mezzer trying to get some shots onto Chance. Chance does not have his shield up, so he's going to get slowly worn down. Sound Barrier picks him back up. Mezzer and Dummy actually both falling. The tanks on the side of the defense. Minstrel is that third tank also falling. Dahang and Id are the only ones still alive, but they're actually nowhere near the point. They are going to cap this with a speed of about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was all down to Id finding that, excuse me, Mangachu finding that pick onto Dahang early on in that engagement, making it 5v6, getting rid of that Mercy, and from there they were able to just pick them apart. We already see right now Northern Gaming Red are going to start crossing this. Only 1 person on the payload, 2 now. They could be pushing this forward a lot faster.
Yeah, so just for, again, those of you who are watching for the first time, not too familiar with competitive Overwatch, you can see the payload being pushed by 2 members at the top of your screen right now. That's what that 2 and the 2 arrows mean. There's actually a maximum of 3 people that can push the payload to its fastest speed. 4, 5, and 6, it do not matter. They're not any faster than 3 people pushing. So 3 push is something that you'll hear pretty frequently in competitive. It is the fastest that you can actually move the payload. Distance matters, time matters. So every time you send an offensive character up to the back line of the defense, you're basically removing a player from the payload that could be pushing it further. But here we go, another engagement. Earthshatter opens the things up here. Wolf with that death loss of getting several kills. Actually only 1 kill onto AZK. Id with the barrage scoring the majority of kills, but the res brings them all back into play. NG Red still pushing that payload. There's attack visor from the side of the offense. No targets in sight. They are going to back off. You can see Mercy and Fair off to the right side for the defense, waiting for their opportunity. The payload is going to start to be contested now by Mezzer and crew. Liquid all here in full force. Taking out Chance is going to be really good for Liquid, as Naptime does not have enough ultimate built up for another resurrection. So I think Liquid is going to re-grab the payload here and be in a sweet spot here to try and defend as NG Red comes back into play.
Yeah, I was going to say just before they engaged that they were playing a little bit tentative on the side of Team Liquid, but that they were able to push forward and get that fight. Right now, 2 minutes, 50 seconds left on the clock for Northern Gaming Red as they do push up. And right now, Team Liquid posturing a little bit more forward than they were beforehand.
Right now, offense just trying to gather themselves. No ults available except for now Chance's Earthshatter. It's going to be extremely important as they move around to the side. They do re-grab the payload very quickly. Defense just backing off, giving them a little bit of a cushion as they talk about what they're going to do, call out where the offensive characters are. Mezzer actually going to run in. Chance drops the Earthshatter at a terrible time, unfortunately, as the Reinhardt shield was easily up in time. Mangachu dropping the barrage, gets a couple of kills, forces that Mercy res out of Dahang. Still players from both teams all over the place right now. We got flankers, we got tanks battling each other. Chance actually gets the pin on Mezzer. That's a great pickup for the offense. They're going to get a lot of space out of that as no one can really contest anymore. It's going to be AZK as Soldier trying to get in there with that attack visor active. Gets the kill on Mangachu, but cannot contest the payload for very long. I hear Dummy actually getting a nice kill there onto Mangachu as McCree off of that third tank. He's going to fall on the payload, and it looks like NG Red still has enough members alive. They should be able to just one at a time eliminate Liquid, and they do. There is that second checkpoint. Now we're in the final S-curve of King's Row.
Yeah, unfortunately for Team Liquid there were just a lot of positional errors. Minstrel almost getting caught out on that Lucio. He was very spread out from this team, wasn't able to get the heals that he needed to. And now it looks like, yeah, right now. Northern Gaming Red pushing up, and Team Liquid are just trying to regroup their forces, but doesn't seem like the comms are quite there yet for them.
Yeah, so far, just nothing really going Liquid's way. They won that one engagement and then immediately lost it. Sound barriers going down on both sides gives offense a great little room to push here. Mangachu's kind of close by, but cannot contest. Dummy actually coming in with the Genji now, scooping a couple of kills, but that is going to be Bird with the Tac Visor active, able to take him out. Defensive res brings all of Liquid back into play, and they are going to control the payload once more. I'm watching the offense now to see if any switches happen. It looks like they are going to stick with what they got. Wolf has Death Blossom available. Chance has Earth Shatter. That could be a very potent combo for them on this next attack. Defense only has Mezzer, but it looks like id now getting his ultimate, and AZK soon will have that Tac Visor, so could be anyone's battle here.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and speed boost in, and there we go. We see the Earth Shatter coming out. It's only going to land on Bird as id comes in from the flank, along with Mezrar to get the kills, but Naptime is still alive. He gets the offensive res off, and now Northern Gaming Red turning it against Team Liquid now. In the back line, they're pushing the payload in. We do see the Dragon Blade coming out. Dummy, though, finds the kill onto Chance, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to pick up much else off of that as he gets cleaned up by Mangachu, finding that body shot, and now they're just picking them apart, and it looks like there's not going to be any way for them to contest. It tries to come in, tries to knock them off, but Wolf on the payload is going to be able to clean them up, and there we go. That's going to be Northern Gaming Red finishing off this map.
Yep, they're going to be able to actually set a time here on King's Row. Again, going into the match, we were saying Team Liquid and NG Red, very close teams compared to what we saw in the first match. So Liquid definitely has the opportunity to try and beat that time. Looks like 6:59 is going to be the time to beat. And that's actually a pretty average time for King's Row. So if you take every point at the last second, generally it's going to be 9 or 10 minutes. Sometimes if you push super duper fast, you'll get 4.5 minutes. So 7 is a nice time set just to be able to say you completed the map, but that is definitely beatable by Liquid. If they can take point A swiftly, instead of in the first 2.5 minutes, let's say they take it in the first minute, they will definitely have the opportunity to beat that time. So a lot of this is going to hinge on point A, in my opinion.
Yeah, Northern Gaming Red could definitely have set a better time there. I think it all just amounts to that weird first push onto the first point where they had the 3 members in the back line in the high ground. There was a lot of time delayed there. Team Liquid were able to hold onto that first point for quite some time before they were eventually had to relinquish it. Right now, we do see on the attacking side, it's going to be Mezrar on that Reinhardt. AZK is going to try his hand at that Widowmaker. Dummy's going to be playing that Roadhog to hang on the Mercy, id on the Reaper, and then Minstrel, of course, rounding out that roster with that Lucio.
Yep, curious to see AZK on the Widowmaker. We saw Dot have some success with it against Envious, so certainly possible to get a pick or two early on. Wolf did not have that great success with Widow and ended up switching on to Reaper, and it ended up being the key they needed to unlock A. So I think Northern Gaming's interesting tactic was basically built around Wolf, trying to get him into interesting positions, distracting the defense long enough for Widow to get picks, and he still couldn't do it. AZK leaping up onto that same perch that Wolf did previously, just taking mass shots right now, adds to that hallway. You can see both supports in the back line for NG Red starting to take some damage, but Mezzer actually the first to go down. That offensive Reinhardt falls to Mangachu on the Roadhog. Roadhog again coming into play here on defense.
Yeah, Roadhog really coming into favor, especially on the defensive side here. You know, he can get those crucial picks as he does get that hook onto Dummy, brings him in right now. It's going to be a 4v3 on the point as Team Liquid are trying to contest. Right now, Bread Expert is there to stop the clock from ticking up for them.
Wolf is just taking free shots at Mezzer. He does actually fall to that Reaper gunfire there as Bird also loops in for some damage. It looks like the offense still has not switched off of that Widowmaker. They're allowing AZK some time to try and deal with this. He's got 1 minute led off the clock already toward that 7-minute time that NG Red set. So they're happy to just sit in the back, wait for the offense to engage with them rather than allowing AZK to have those free sight lines. Bread Expert probably wants to get out of there. There he does. There's a die. Death Blossom coming in from id or ID and getting a couple of kills. Naptime and Chance both down means Liquid very likely to be able to take this point. Mangachu gets pulled out of his ultimate. Good hook there from Dummy, and the res is going to make sure that Liquid gets this point A in about 1.5 minutes, minute 45 to get us started here. It is a little bit faster than NG Red though.
Yeah, with that speed boosted in, Death Blossom was able to get that crucial pick onto Naptime, who did have the resurrection in his pocket, but unfortunately going down so early in that fight meant that Team Liquid were able to finally cap this point. And like you said, they were able to cap it a little bit faster than Northern Gaming Red. At this point, Northern Gaming Red, though, posturing a lot more aggressively than Team Liquid did on their side, on their defensive side of the street stage here.
Yeah, I think they're actually pushing up pretty aggressively here because they have a few ultimates available, so they're going to try and stop them in this underpass. Again, this is another great spot where you have very limited entrances into the King's Row streets, so you want to play each of these choke points a little bit differently. Chance with his shield up now is going to have the speed boost to bring everyone into play. Bird and Wolf running to that front line do find the kill on ID very quickly, and that is going to slow down Liquid enough that they're actually going to back off. AZK has swapped off of Widowmaker onto Soldier now, which makes a lot more sense for pushing these payloads. Biotic Field is great on the payload itself. Soldier with his sprint allows him to get into position a lot faster than Widowmaker, and it's just a lot less sight lines to work with here. So defense looking very strong. Still a lot of ultimates to go. ID is stuck. What does that mean? I'm going to go take a look. Like he is in his spawn. He just cannot move. So it's up to our admins what to do to that. We're just casters, so we're going to keep casting. We'll let them work it out, but ID, yeah, has not moved in about 20-30 seconds right now since his death in King's Row Road. I saw him move a little bit. He's changing characters, trying it out. There he does switch to Pharah, and it looks like he is going to be able to move again. So I'm not sure what happened there. Never seen that bug, honestly, a single time before.
All right, so now we do have the full 6-on-6 as Team Liquid are pushing up. We do see that the whole hog does come out with both Earth Shadows actually whipping on both teams. And right now, Northern Gaming Red have to fall back. We do see that right now Wolf might be able to get the flank onto Team Liquid here. He is in the back as they continue to push forward.
Right, Chance's shield is actually almost broken. This is actually very risky. I was surprised he pushed in all the way immediately just to die. Mangachu does have the whole hog ult going behind him, but Chance definitely ran up a little bit too far, too fast. Looks like offense actually finally has that opening that they were looking for. Dahang does have res for the offense. Naptime's sitting on it here for the defense, but they're going to let Chance respawn and run his way back instead of picking up the using that res on just him. Defense actually split a little bit. Naptime, Mangachu, and who is at Wolf all in different areas right now. The payload itself is essentially empty, but Liquid still needs to gather everyone together and figure out how they're going to try and break through this. It's Barrage, most likely going to come into play here.
Yeah, right now teams reposturing themselves up and Northern Gaming Red pushing forward, and oh, that hook by Mangachu coming in takes out Mezra, and that's the strength of Roadhog right there, finding that immediate pick, turning this this team fight one-sided. But we do see the Rocket Barrage coming out. It's not going to actually find anything there, but we do have the offensive reds coming out from the hang, but immediately they're getting cleaned up. They were, you know, caught out on the left side there. And now Northern Gaming Red pushing back Team Liquid.
This is very strange. The players just saying that they're getting stuck. I've literally cast hundreds of these matches now, and I've never seen that bug come into play before. So I'm really curious what is going on here with that. But both teams continuing to play it out. Bird getting the kill on AZK there. Good stuff for the defense of NG Red. Time is starting to bleed off for Liquid now. They actually only have a minute and a half to try and reach this next checkpoint, let alone try to actually complete the map.
We do see id on the back there with that Tracer. Might be able to pick off one of the supports here. It is trying to go after Naptime, but in the front, it's going to be Bird finding the kill onto Dummy. It is traded away as Mezrard takes down Chance, but id in the back line here isn't able to get the kills quite yet as the team has come down on him. And now he does get the pulse bomb off, but that's going to be on the tank. That's going to be on Mangachu, who is able to just heal right through that. We do have the flank coming out from Wolf. The die comes out. He gets one kill onto Minstrel right now, and it looks like Northern Gaming Red are slowly cleaning this up. AZK right in front of Mangachu. Mangachu is going to finish him off, and there we go. Looks like Northern Gaming Red will push them back.
Really nice string of ultimates there from Liquid, but it was not enough as, who was that got the last laugh? It was Mangachu with the Roadhog, blasting AZK in the face with that whole hog ultimate. Great Earth Shatter there from Chance, keeps his players alive. The counter Earth Shatter barely does anything, so Mezer cannot feel too happy about that. Mezer is going to fall, Dummy's down, AZK has no tanks, he's going to fall as well. And NG Red doing a great job on defense here in the streets, cleans up Liquid.
Yeah, 26 seconds left. It looks like they have only one last push on the side of Team Liquid here, and it might be Northern Gaming Red taking the first map in this series. And
Yeah.
actually, GGs are getting called. Yeah, it looks like per stopwatch mode rules, Team Liquid just aren't going to be able to finish this off. So that's Northern Gaming Red taking the first map here on Kings Row.
Okay, so it seems to be that the players are just complaining about server. Our lobby host can actually just hit L and return us to the lobby, so we'll see what's actually going to happen here. NG Red already taking game number 1 here on Kings Row against Liquid. Now we are returned back to the lobby. So game number 2, I'm just going to look at that map draft again. I think it is going to be on Numbani if they follow the rule set the same way that I'm understanding it. Numbani and then Nepal would be game number 3. So we are switching off to Numbani. It's another hybrid payload map, which is capture into payload. Players are discussing right now what they want to do about the server or the lobby or what's going on, players getting stuck and whatnot. So we may just take a minute here and get that worked out before launching into game number 2.
Yeah, that was definitely something I've never seen before. He was on Reaper, might have, I don't know, shadow stepped into a weird area, but we'll see what the issue was with that. There might be server issues, but I haven't seen that in any of my custom games either.